Well, policy and governance analyst Professor Okey Ikechukwu is with us in the studio for more on Tinubu's cabinet reshuffle. Good to see you, and thanks for your time. The talks are already on. We've had elder statesmen, we've had a lot of people. First, on the face, when this broke, the story broke, and also as a journalist and an interim board chairman in the past, what stood out for you when you heard about this reshuffle?
One, the reshuffle was not too late in coming. The president has been in office for about a year. But I noted with satisfaction the scrapping of the Niger Delta Ministry, surprising as it may sound.
Why so?
Oh, a couple of reasons. If you're going to have a Niger Delta ministry, why should you not have a Middle Belt ministry, a Northeast ministry, etc.? And now that the government has created or is creating several other development commissions for the various regions, look at the logic. If you have 6 development commissions, you're going to have 6 apparatus of administration. Complete repertoire, everybody will have an SUV. The cost of administering each of them in 6 places is being reduced to 1. That's number 1 gain, if you ask me. The second one is it will aid, in my view, I may be mistaken, but it will aid national development, national planning. Why is it that if you go to the Niger Delta, you find that you have trillions of the value of unexecuted or suspended contracts? Are we really getting development? If you're going to plan national development and there are 6 development commissions, you must ensure that what's happening in point A creates a linkage into the other. That would be national development, not small pockets of people who are spending the equivalent of sometimes more than state budgets. So, and that will also bring conversation, because if there's a coordinating platform for the 6 regions, there'll have to be a conversation to determine the economic value, human impact value of what you're doing here, how it will link with that. If that commission, let's suppose there's a Northeast, Northwest, Middle Belt, and you'll say, oh, we're going to start doing roads in the Middle Belt. What kind of roads are you going to do? What economic activity will it drive in the Northeast since it's passing through this place, etc.? That's the kind of conversation I expect to emerge from this. I've always been on this program, I think 2 years ago. I called, it was Ruben, I tell you know, it was right. I called for the scrapping of the Niger Delta Ministry. My argument then was that, look, this money belongs to people in 9 states. Send it to their governors. If the governors are behaving badly and they can't deal with them, over time they'll get to do that. But you create another platform populated by the elite and alternative government, running trillions in budget. Is the Niger Delta developed? And I don't want this to be seen as a response to the comment from there, because I've held this view for close to 3 years now. I've made it public. I've written about it in the papers. I've also canvassed it on TV.
But if the governors were indeed performing, would there have been any need to come up with these development commissions?
The question is whether they were not performing when UNPADEC was set up. There was pollution. There was government irresponsibility. The regions were not getting any. Today you speak of derivation. I think that time it was 1.5%. And then there was, of course, it's not even the state governors. There's a counterpart thing you do. You pay X, and for that, government deploys certain things in the communities. From what I gathered then, I was on the editorial board. You see, the oil companies were doing their bits, but the interface was not happening. 1.5% derivation. The places were overcome. I was on you have people through whose places of residence pipes passed.
Yeah.
You know, so that this doesn't, sorry to cut you there, Prof.
Actually, so it doesn't look like the discussion of
Niger Delta.
That's correct.
Really, because there are other key things here, and people are saying, they try to qualify that clearly this is not a major shake-up. They expected the president to have done more. They expected the president to also have looked into our security sector and even economy. So how does this, when you view what has just happened, just 5 people out, and none on these 2 key sectors of our national life?
I'll take from the angle of security. Between us, only the president will know the reasons why he took the decision he took. But if you look at security, you will agree with me that I think in the last 3 weeks now to 1 month, there has been a steady, elimination of the major drivers of banditry. So whatever template they designed that's leading to this series of successes in the last 5 weeks, it may be that this will be the wrong time to start rejigging. Because for the last 1 year, quite frankly, we've not found it funny. There's been a lot of insecurity. There's been a lot of kidnapping. There's an upbeat. And then you hear of bandits. I think there was one to band. Then all of a sudden, those untouchable bandit leaders are being taken out. Every other day, not even every other week. Whatever it is they've worked out that's making that happen, I imagine that it may not be a very smart thing to quickly rejig and everybody will start getting a reorientation. That might be the reason.
Okay, so still talking about rejigging of the cabinet.
He didn't talk about the economy.
The economy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with the economy? I said that all of us are spending more than we should on everything.
So you think that those managing it, they're doing well?
No. The question is what economy is there to manage. The crisis on the table, first, certainly there's an international element, but the fact is that the twin factors of the value of the currency and all of that is influencing inflation. Now, the argument could be that, if you remove those managing it, something wonderful will happen. That claim, is it correct? That's the element we don't look at. If the variables are constant, let's take look, I keep demanding for more dollars. That means I will have to spend more naira. And then you change the person managing maybe just the bank. It will not affect the fact that I'll still be asking for more money. That's why I said there might be things in his mind we don't know. But
there you go.
Yeah, there
are. Two issues. The Minister of Petroleum remains the president. Some would think or expect that, being such a sensitive ministry, and with the president having so much on his plate, he really should let go of the Ministry of, as Minister of Petroleum. What you say, to that? And these 5 ministers that have been removed, would you say that they are the ones that have been holding this government back from really performing? Or it's just symbolic?
For guys.
Sometimes this might be a matter of perspective. But on the question of petroleum, I believe that the president should relinquish that position. Yes, it's nominal. It started with Buhari, I think.
Yeah.
Going back to yes.
Long before
So that position, is the cash cow of the economy, and it's felt that. But the president will always be in a presidential system. Ministers are like special assistants. The only person governing this country is a president, except it's a presidential system, except it's not a presidential system. So every other person is an aide of his. That's why you say he has enormous powers. To now take the further step of announcing yourself minister over a place that you're actually the one managing and somebody is only standing in for you, it's become a culture, but I think it's one that the president should break away from. I am not sure of any extra value that is being delivered, because there is no decision that key ministry will take that will not get thorough scrutiny, repeated scrutiny, and final presidential approval. So let that title go, it would help.
So these 5 ministers, are they the cog in the wheel of the performance of this administration? Very quickly. How
would I know what's on the wheel? But I mean, some of them are seen to have issues, at least in the public domain. That's number one. Number two, you also ask among those he didn't remove. Okey is still there. He has his political issues, but if you look at what he's doing to Abuja roads, that may be good reason to keep him. I wouldn't know, but my take is the 5 ministers removed, certainly there are stories in the public domain. There are perception issues about them. Whether he should have removed more or not, I don't know, but I think he could have removed more than 5. Right.
Okay, it's a good place to leave it. Dr. Okey Ikechukwu is leadership and governance expert joining us on Newsnight.